Your application is approved. Line of credit, $100,000. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Credit Plug channel. So in today's video, I'm gonna be sharing with you some data points on a recent approval for a $100,000 business line of credit. That's right. I do a lot of firsthand research. And so I was just going through the application process, right, to see what it was like. And then for some reason, instead of hitting save, I hit continue. And then I got an immediate inquiry notification that my credit got pulled. Says your application is approved. Please accept the offer below. And so this is for a $100,000 business line of credit. It has a variable rate, 10.5%. And this is going to be the Wall Street Journal prime rate plus the margin. Zero documentation fee. There is a $65 UCC filing fee, as well as a $1,500 origination fee. So certain lines of credit, especially on the business side, they do have, loan origination fees. Depending on which bank you're going to, the fees may vary. Now, I'm not going to give you guys the specific bank, and I'm going to explain in a little bit why I'm not sharing that specific information, but I did want to give you guys some golden nuggets that you could actually take and replicate and get the same results, right? And so I've talked about how fintechs are changing the game, and not necessarily even fintech lenders, but fintech service providers. So Numerated is a digital loan origination system, and this is what a lot of banks are moving towards because you can get a quick decision. So when I got the $100,000 business line of credit, I applied on a Friday evening, and by Tuesday, I had the approval. A lot of these fintech service providers are working with financial institutions to streamline their application and their loan origination system. So again, digital applications, digital underwriting, they're using AI to be able to automate the loan application process so you can get a fast decision. Now, there's a ton of these fintech service providers, Foundation, on the credit union side, they have with Clutch. And so they're pretty much streamlining the application process so that the banks aren't spending all this time doing due diligence, going out collecting information from different sources. They basically are able to compile all that information so that the lender can make a fast decision. With Numerated, they're doing over 400 million loans processed per hour, total of 50 billion in total lending process on their platform. And it only takes about 3 minutes. So 2 minutes and 57 seconds. So this is the fastest borrowing from application start to account funding. Take notice of these fintech service providers because they're using the same data sources and similar data points to evaluate you and underwrite you. Now, ultimately, each bank is going to have their own underwriting criteria, but where the information is getting pulled from is going to be very similar. So whether that's from the Social Security Administration, whether they're using TaxGuard or any of these other third-party APIs where they pull in information and they're able to verify a lot of information. So these are some examples of banks that are in the Numerated platform. Numerated is not the lender, but they're making it easier for the lenders to make lending decisions. But I've gone through the liberty of extracting data points that are going to be applicable to all of the lenders that are using Numerated as their loan origination system. They're going to pull your Experian personal credit, right? And so they have a threshold of 7+ inquiries. So if you're over 7 inquiries, it's automatically going to get flagged. They're also going to use Experian Business. And within that, the FICO SBSS. So this is usually for business lending. It's a composite metric that looks at the beneficial owner's credit as well as the credit of the business. All of the banks in their platform are going to be using Experian, right? There's also a Lexis Nexis check. You also have OFAC. So there's an OFAC cross-reference. So for those who don't know what OFAC is, so OFAC stands for the Office of Foreign Asset Controls. And basically, this is just a list. They want to make sure that you're not engaged in any type of illicit activities. Most people don't have to worry about this, but this is just another type of data verification. So they have these different lists of, people who are involved in certain activities. So if you're applying for loans and opening up bank accounts, they just cross-reference this list. Numerated will also do SSA verification. So the Social Security Administration verification. So Experian actually has a relationship with the SSA. If you're putting something other than your Social Security number on a credit application, they can verify if it actually belongs to you or if it's a fraudulent Social Security number. So you will need to have an operating agreement. And if you don't know where to get one, you can go to Rocket Lawyer and, they have templates you could fill out. Also going to need 2 years of personal and business taxes. That's going to be the main data point aside from your personal credit that they're going to be looking at. So there's another fintech called TaxGuard, which can identify if, let's say you have back taxes that you haven't paid. And then business liability insurance. So this was important because the particular lender where I got this 100K line of credit, they pretty much require you to add them to your business insurance policy, right, as a holder. But this is definitely something that you want to make sure you have, especially if you're trying to get larger loans and lines of credit. Some lenders may require. All right, so here I'm actually logged into the portal. So I just wanted to show you guys in terms of what information I actually had to submit. Now, they offer business loans and lines of credit. Lines of credit actually go up to 500K. All right, so the first step is actually completing an application and then uploading document. Pretty straightforward, right? So last 2 years of business tax returns, last 2 years of personal tax returns, articles of organization, government issued personal identification, so just like a driver's license, and then, as I said earlier, an operating agreement. So this was only probably a total of about, let me see, 2 tax returns, personal and business, so that's 4, about 7 documents total, right? If you're applying for credit, these are just basic documents that you should probably keep in a folder, like an operating agreement, your government issued ID, your articles of organization. So this was very easy to apply. So once you complete your request, upload your documents, at that point, that's when they'll do their due diligence, and then they pretty much will give you an offer really, really quickly. Now, the reason why this is still in yellow is because I've yet to hit the accept button. But again, I just wanted to walk you guys through this, right? So again, here we are. It says your application is approved. Please accept below. And then again, $100,000 line of credit, 10.5%. And then again, these fees. And like I said, I got this offer a couple of days ago. So as you can see, they give you about a month after they give you the offer to accept it before it actually expires. I'm actually going to hit this accept button right here and accept the offer. All right, it says your offer has been reviewed and accepted. So some of you might be wondering what bank was this where I got the 100,000. So I'm not actually going to reveal that. And here are the hard facts. 99% of business loan applications get denied. And how do I know that? It's because I see a lot of the back end statistics on conversion rates. And we drive a lot of traffic. So I'm able to see this at scale with a large enough sample size. And from what I've noticed, there's a large decrease in conversion rates. And the reason why is because most of the application volume is coming from the subprime credit, right? And what happens when we put information out, there'll be 1,000 applications, they'll clog up the application system, clog up the website, and then the banking institution is going to wonder, oh, where's this traffic coming from? Oh, who's Credit Plug, right? Now, out of respect to our clients and people who actually can benefit from this information, I'm not going to reveal it on YouTube because there's just been a lot of negative outcomes when sharing certain information, right? This is not the Navy federal play to go run up a bag. If you don't have at least 2 years of tax returns, which a lot of people don't have paperwork, then you're not going to get approved. So it doesn't really matter. We have a large reach now. So when we put out information, it creates a domino effect. You have other creators who will then make videos and just, snowball all the traffic to this small institution. And then it just ruins it, right? And there's countless examples of institutions who switch up after having this huge surge in applications. And the crazy thing about it is that 99% of the applications don't even qualify to begin with. I laid out some clues for you. There are platforms like Numerated, Foundation, where they automate the online loan origination system. So if you understand what banks are actually working with these different fintech service providers, you can actually go and replicate the same results that I just showed you, getting approved for a $100,000 line of credit. And of course, for me, I'm doing this for research just so that I can share these data points with you guys. And again, do your own homework, do your own research, do your own due diligence. I'm just giving you guys some clues. Now, again, in 2024 and beyond, a lot of institutions are going to be working with these fintech service providers who are automating the loan origination process. So if you understand what information is being collected, what information is being used by these fintech service providers, you can go out here and run up a real big bag if you have the data points and if you have the paperwork. Like I said, to get a 100K line of credit, you're definitely going to have to show some type of documentation. Now, they didn't specifically ask for any bank statements, but as I showed you, 2 years of tax returns, personal and business, operating agreement, government issue photo ID, and articles of organization. And that was pretty much it. The key takeaways I want you guys to focus on, and again, I've said this time and time again, focus on getting your paperwork in order. So a lot of people talk about this Dun & Bradstreet paydex score. The banks don't care about your paydex score, right? They want to see that, A, you have good personal credit, and B, you have a legitimate, viable business with documented information, financials, right? So you want to focus on getting your information organized so that you could even present it to a banking institution, right? So focus on your financials, your taxes. Don't focus on your Dun and Bradstreet paydex score. I can't believe there are still people in 2024 who are trying to build up a paydex score without building an actual business and thinking that the bank is going to give you these loans, right? Banks are moving towards these fintech service providers that can pull information from a lot of different resources and verify that information. So if you can pass the checks when it comes to where these fintech service providers are actually pulling their information, if you could get through the fintech service provider, you can get approved for the bank financing. And a lot of banks, again, are moving to these fintech service providers. So I just wanted to share this information. If anyone is interested in different banks that use Numerated or Foundation, we go over a lot of this in our Patreon. And again, you could do your own research. Anyways, that's all for today's video. Let me know your comments and questions down below. And until next time, take it easy and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.